there yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from my living room here in Vancouver, Canada. So welcome. Today is Monday, April 26, 2021, and this is not a regular podcast of mine. I'm jumping in here real quick to answer some questions in a tag that was created by Keto Marny, and I will put her YouTube channel down below so that you can go and visit and see the originator of these questions. I was tagged by Petra from Petra's Happy Place, and hi Petra, and I'll also include her video down below so you can go across and see the answers to her questions as well. If you want to play along and have some fun, the answers are down in the description box, and if you want to include them in the comment section here to share amongst all the fiber friends, we can all have some fun in learning a little bit more about each other. So let's get stuck into it. I do want to say first off the bat that this hashtag has been created so that you can search it under the search engine on YouTube to find all of the answers from the other podcasters and YouTubers that are answering this tag. So there is quite a number of us, and I've watched a few of them already and they're great. So thank you Keto Marny for starting this off. So the hashtag is hashtag 10 Crochet Hook Questions, and if I can remember, I'll put it down on the screen below so that you can see how it's spelt out. So first question here is, what is your favorite brand of crochet hook? So I started the crochet journey about 2 years ago, so I haven't had too much experience with many different styles of hooks, but what I have done is I started off with a Susan Bates set here, very inexpensive. It's a great purchase if you're starting out and you want to just try out different hook sizes. So it's very ergonomic, very economic, not ergonomic, very economic to purchase a whole set. I think it was under $15, and here we have a hook size that begins, the smallest is 3.75 and it goes all the way up to 6.5 millimeters. So, and it's all color coordinated, so you can know at a glance, if you're familiar with your hooks, what color is what size. So that's a really neat feature. And later down the way, I kind of tried out a few, and I know this is beyond the question, but bear with me for a moment. But I did try the Loops and Threads aluminium crochet set here with different heads. And what I found was I needed to reteach myself the muscle memory movement. And the Susan Bates, I find, uses the least amount of movement to get and complete the stitches. The hooks that have more rounded style of, I guess, the indentation where the yarn is captured, I find that you need to have a little bit more movement to retain the yarn within the hook, and also to make clearance through the loop that the hook goes through to complete the stitch. So a beautiful hook that took me about 2 hours to kind of finesse the new technique on making those clearances that I talked about and retaining the yarn within the hook, was this Furls Odyssey, and it was generously gifted to me by our Emmy Phillips. Hi Emmy! And I absolutely love this hook, but again, I did need to train myself to understand the new motion that I needed to have to complete the stitch work within this hook. The next question, question 2, I've seen people actually answer the knitting tools as well, because I knit as well as crochet, and a couple of other dual crafters out there, yarn crafters who know how to both knit and crochet, mentioned something about their knitting needle choices as well. So I just got to throw in the knitting needle that I like using, and I just started using them because I don't have that much experience with my repertoire of different tools, but this set was generously gifted to me by Jane. Hi Jane! And it's called the Chargu Red Lace Needles, and oh, actually I have 2 of them. So Jane gifted me one, and I had purchased one for my set of I guess investigation and exploration with different needle types, and I love the stainless steel ones. They are amazing. No memory in the cord, so it's very fluid, and you can pull it out of the package and it just sort of like I don't know, it's like butter. Like your stitches glide across from the cord to the knitting needle, and the point on the needle is really lovely as well. So I'd say these are my new favorites because I just started using them. And another favorite of mine is Knitter's Pride. And I've got a project here right now that I'm working on, and these are wooden tips. They have little metal clasps that go into the transition onto the cord, and that is very, very smooth. And because it's a hard compressed wood, it feels and acts like it's a metal itself, but it has a warmer touch to it than metal does. So yeah, maybe in later down the way it might need some treatment, but right now this surface of the wooden compressed needle is a beautiful surface. The stitches just glide across. I really like the Knitter's Pride, and that collection is called Dreams. The next question is question 2. What is your favorite size of crochet hook? I don't know how to answer that because I like using all different weights of yarn and feeling that I can accomplish different types of garments or accessories or even decor pieces like blankets. I need to kind of like be flexible with the hook size. But I'm going to say, because I like making cows and I like using DK weight, or if I'm making some sort of shawl and I'm using DK weight, I would say a 4mm crochet hook to a 5mm crochet hook would be nice. It's a hard thing to answer. But yeah, and for pieces like this, which is one of my first fingering weight projects, I really liked using the 3.75 and 4mm crochet hooks for this. So I'm going to say maybe a 4mm would be, if I had to choose one. For knitting needles, it would probably be similar 4 to 4.5mm set of knitting needles because I like the DK weight, as well as you can get a nice drapey feel on a 4 if you use fingering with a 4mm. So number 3 here, do you prefer a tapered hook, i.e. Boye, or do you prefer an inline hook, i.e. Susan Bates? Well, I've kind of answered that, so it would be Susan Bates. I find that the yarn stays within where it should be, and your motion with the hook is basically very limited movement. It's more forgiving as well when you are twisting to finish and complete through a loop, that it's not going to snag on the yarn overs, that it glides through easiest, I find. Number 4 here is, how do I hold my hook? Pencil grip or knife grip? I'm a knife gripper, like this. So yeah, I find that for me it's easy to use the fingers and also the wrist to get the motion. And for knitting styles, if I'm tailoring it a little bit to knitting, how do I knit? It would be either continental or English style, which is the throwing method. I would say I'm more comfortable with the English throwing, but I also can continental knit if I'm doing color work in the round or doing rows of color work. I find that I can do both techniques to clear the round or the row in the one swipe or sweep, so I don't have to go back to the start and do all the slip stitches. Next one is, does the style of hook dictate how you crochet? I would say, yeah, because it would dictate how I crochet because of the movement, as I just discussed. A little movement for Susan Bates, more of a movement and precision work is needed to clear a hook, like the Furls hook, for example, has a smaller window of completing a stitch without it snagging, so it needs to be in the right position. The head needs to be down, away from the yarn over, so that it doesn't catch on, and you need to have your tension a little bit precise as well, so that the yarn doesn't jump out of the hook itself. Number 6 here, do you prefer ergonomic hooks or regular hooks? I like regular hooks, although I did start with an ergonomic hook to get my confidence level up and to train with I guess the crocheting as well. I found that the ergonomic hook at the shaft end of the hook that sticks out was a great way of, if I needed to let go of the actual tool, that there was a helpful way that the tool wouldn't just fall away from the work. It had somewhere to capture, I guess, if it got up to the rubber part of the crochet hook. Now I know a lot of people out there who have limited motion in their hands, or if there are conditions that they are going through, that the ergonomic hook is the way for them to go because it feels more comfortable. And I understand that there was a lot, some comments in previous I guess questions about which one is preferred, and a lot of people were saying that they're thankful that ergonomic is out there so that they can actually crochet, and I completely agree with that. Number 7 here is, what are your thoughts on lighted or lit up hooks? I have never used one. I have like a reading light. I always sit out in the living room when I'm crocheting, so I switch on the reading light. But I think it would be, just at a guess, it would be too distracting for me. I'd be like worried about like seeing movement in the peripheral vision of my sight, that there would be this light going up and down and, you know, flying against the ceiling and stuff, depending on what kind of stitch I'm doing. And I'm not too confident whether the light would actually direct itself to where you need it, because once the yarn is on top of the hook, how are you meant to see where the hook is going? Because it's like blinding a bit of the light's covering it. So I'm not sure. That's just me guessing. I like the reading light more. Number 8 here, have you ever used a hook with interchangeable heads? If so, your thoughts? No, I have not used the interchangeable heads on crochet hooks. But for knitting, if I'm switching it over to knitting again briefly, I have used the Audi steel, I think they're stainless steel interchangeable click set, and that was a loan from one of my friends who said I should try them out, because I am still looking for an interchangeable set as well, and I like them. There was a little bit of concern with the edging when the connecting part, that the stitches kind of like got a bit jammed up on that lip that was in the join. So yeah, I'm gonna try another set to before going ahead and buying it. And I think the Chagu red lace ones, if there's a interchangeable set with those, I might choose that. So number 9 here is, do you like projects that require small stainless steel hooks or larger hooks? Now, I just got to get rid of that message. I'm going to have to say I haven't done any lace work, and I haven't done any things that are doilies. So I don't really know what the stainless steel hooks, the very miniature ones, the small intricate work, how they would work. So I'm going to have to say regular. Number 10 here is, if you are only allowed to use 2 hooks for the rest of your life, what size and brand would they be? So I think I might have answered that throughout the course of the 10 questions, but I would say definitely Susan Bates. I would love them for my inline crochet hook choice, and probably the Furls Odyssey would be the second. But again, I've only used a very, very small amount of different tools, and yeah, in my limited experience, I'm just saying these 2 because I haven't used many that are out there and possibly way better than the choices that I have in front of me. So yeah, anything to get the job done too really is my mode of thinking. So if I had to choose a size, was the second part of that question, I would have to say that the size would be a probably a 4 millimeter crochet hook, and then maybe lighter, like no, I'd say 4 covers like the lower range, and I would say maybe an 8 millimeter would cover maybe more of the thicker range. So I want to get as much possibility as possible. So I'm going to spend those spans those two hook size choices across a larger spectrum. So a 4 and an 8. For needles, I would say Chagu, only because of my recent experience with them, and I would say Knitter's Pride. And if I had to choose a size of knitting needle, if I have two of them, I would say, spread the love, do the same thing in the crochet hook, do a 4mm and do probably a 6mm, so 4 and 6, so it covers like a greater span of possibilities. So I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed my answers, and maybe you have some of the same answers that I did. Maybe you could guess some of the answers that I had, given. Let's read some of your ones as well. I'd love you to answer any or all of them, whatever you feel drawn to, down in the comment section down below. And I have to tag people now. So if you are watching this video and you don't have a YouTube channel where you post, you're welcome to add comments down here. And if you do have a YouTube channel where you do post videos, you're welcome and to join in at any time. So welcome, you're tagged. And I have a few people here that I've mentioned just to keep it going. So Judy, and she has a YouTube channel called Judy at Witch Piece Craft. And Chris from, hi, it's Chris. I also have Lisa from Epic Yarns Gems, I should say, sorry. And Kim from Affordably Crafty, Tori from Paulie's Crochet and Creations, or Crochet Creations, Tracy from I Love Loopy Crochet, and Limon from Limon Crochets. His name changed last year, but it looks like it's gone back to Limon Crochets. And I'm going to tag these two. I hope that they will do it. It's Mr. and Mrs. Bod from Bag a Day. If you are inclined to accept the challenge and the tag, I would love to hear both of your responses, because I know that that Eric, who's Mr. Bod, also crochets and he does blankets. So I'd love to hear his responses as well. And remember, if it's a busy time in your life, you don't have to jump in to do these immediately, but maybe down the way, if you feel inclined to answer them, please do. It'll be so much fun to hear your responses. And also, if you've been tagged before and you've already put a video out there, I do apologize that I've tagged you again. You're not necessary to redo. I will get around to watching your videos soon enough. So with that, I will bid everyone a farewell and catch up in the next podcast. Bye for now.